email. Oh my god, it's right in front of my face. Yeah.
Well, if it's bothering you, we can just...
No.
Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
So hi Thomas, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
We are super happy to have you here with us today. 3 weeks ago we interviewed one of the DJs you seem to be really close with, considering how many tracks you released together. Victor Rees, when he was in Geneva, and today we have a chance to catch you here in Lausanne just before your gig at the TECHNO. Have you ever played there? Do you know the place?
No, it's the first time. I talked to the promoter tonight, and I've been to Lausanne many times, but it was a loft club. So in the past, so it's good to finally have the chance to play at TECHNO, because obviously I know about the club and for how long it's been going on. So it's going to be a good night.
Yeah. As Victor, you are one of the DJs whose tracks we play the most in our sets. So we are particularly glad to be able to have that chat with you tonight.
Very, very. Thank you, guys.
But before we really start the interview, could you say a few words to introduce yourself?
A couple of words to introduce myself as far as what I'm doing, or
whatever seems
Thomas Schumacher, you know
who you are.
That's my name. Been doing techno, like as in DJing and recording music for quite some time. I started DJing in 1989. My first record was out in 1992, and since then I basically fell in love with music during school time already. I was the class DJ. It was always my passion, and after school, for me it was clear I'm gonna follow that path no matter what, and I did. And since then I never stopped, never looked back. You know, I still, after all these years, fully enjoy what I'm doing. I think yeah, there's something really special happening when I do this, you know, whether it's in the studio or on stage in a club, you know. So what can I say, you know, when you just fulfill yourself with something, I think music is such a great way to transport emotions, you know, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
We can only agree.
Yeah. So
you said you enjoy studio and playing live. Is there like something you prefer, or is it just two side of the same coin, and it completes itself?
Exactly, that's what it is. I couldn't do just one or the other, you know. And obviously it is such a great combination, because during the week I'm in my studio recording music, and then on the weekend I can test it as well. So that is super rewarding. And as you will probably hear tonight, I'll play a lot of my own productions in my sets, and people are keen to hear their favorite Thomas Schumacher track, and that brings this special connection with it. It's sometimes I feel it's like a concert, you know. People know exactly what they want, and they come to hear that, and it's really nice.
You're one of the first who said it's like a concert.
Yeah.
Because I think that, but I realize that not a lot of DJ think that.
I think it has really to do with, I personally find, with the fact that I'm playing basically my own music, you know? So that makes such a difference, you know? And
yes, I think so.
But at the bottom of my heart, I'm also a full-blown DJ, just, you know? I just love DJing. I think it's an art form, and so I can do anything. I can play the standard 2 hours, but I can also play really extended sets as well, which I love to do.
What's the longest that you ever played?
I don't think I broke any records, but I think I had my fair share of like 8-hour sets, stuff like that. Yeah. When I started basically in my hometown of Bremen, which is up in the north of Germany, I immediately became resident of the only techno club. And that always meant from start to finish there was no one else, you know. So you would open the night and you would close it, and that usually was at least 7 hours. And
give you time to express yourself.
Yeah, it's
I guess.
beautiful, and to learn to read the crowd, and take them on a journey. And I think there's a lot to be said for like a classic 2-hour set where, you come straight to it, but there's also beauty in having more time with people,
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. You can tell. You can also show a different side of yourself if you like to. If you have more time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since we started this series of interviews in Ibiza this summer, the main subject has been the connection that can be between nature and electronic music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in that sense that your tracks speak to us, because we feel like the intensity, the energy they get combined with the always present melodies fit very well with everything that composes nature.
Right.
Do you feel the same way? Would you say that nature has some part in your inspiration, in your life, in your music?
I think for me, I translate nature as into organic. My music, I find, is very organic in many senses, And
Definitely.
yes, then I think your description really fits well, And there's always well, first off, I think it's this mixture of a specific mood that I'm going for and a high level of energy. That's this combination. That's where I'm always finding myself digging in, and really coming to the point with my music as well. It's as much as I know my music is very powerful and big in the club, production wise it's actually stripped down. I don't layer too much. I specifically choose and program the sounds, and I want every sound to have a specific message, and so
identity,
it has to be there, from the start. I don't know, like these filler sounds. So and arrangement is super important as well. The story that you're telling, and that the breaks really make sense and they work, and I think in the best sense that's an organic process, and people hear that, and that's when they get touched, and that's always the moment when I feel like I achieved something. I think Stella is probably the track that does this most with people, because it is also very melodic, it has the most harmonies in it and stuff, and but I also like the association just with nature, because I love nature in general, so yeah.
And we've seen on Resident Advisor that you say you purposely steer your sets into rough water.
Yeah.
Do you somehow feel that a bit literally? I mean, do you visualize the tracks you play like elements that engage together, like maybe a rock slide that would go in the way of a river flow, or lava that would come near water and create something?
I love your associations. It's not that I had them before, but the point that I tried to make with the statement that you just read or talked about is just that I do believe when it comes to people going out to dance, it's something really, really basic and very tribal for us, and I think it has a lot to do with letting go and forgetting about the world around you. And this is that moment that I describe when I'm the captain on the boat, and everybody's my crew basically, and I steer them into this area where it's like, you can just forget about it, trust me. And this is this rough water, because I think that's what we also need. We need to be woken up, and I think that's the magic of techno music as well, because it's so universal in many ways, and so basic, but yet it can touch you on so many levels. So
you say rough waters because what it brings emotions, because rough water can be scary somehow.
Yeah, I think that there is. The thing is, I think one of my kind of superpowers is to make people feel really safe, actually, with my presence. Mm-hmm. I think they can feel I know what I'm doing. The other thing is, though, you want to push them in terms of the energy that you present within the music, and it's full on loud. You can feel the bass, can hear all the frequencies, great sound system. So if I layer these tracks while mixing and crank up the sound system, there's also this, for people I know that sometimes they're really like, whoa, you know, this sound wave that hits them, and then that's the rough water, you know. And you will also see here in my sets, there's always this progression, you know, and it goes usually like this, and I bring them down a little bit, but then at the end it's like a rocket, you know. And that's this feeling of, I can see sometimes in the eyes of the people when they are really like, are you gonna push us some more? I'm like, I definitely will push you some more. Yeah, you bet. Yeah.
And we've also seen the video you did for Brace Race a few months ago in an industrial warehouse.
Yeah.
And it got our attention because it's exactly what we do with our Into the World videos, except we do it into nature.
Right.
And we very much would like to know how it felt for you to play without an audience.
That was really one of a kind experience for me, because I mean, I had done a couple of studio sets sometimes, you know, with video cameras and stuff, or film crews, but being in such a huge warehouse industrial hall without anyone, and there could have been at least 10,000 people in there, you know, I thought it was perfect. It was just so unique, and because it gave so much space to the environment and this building, which in a way, because it was so abandoned, it was almost like taken over by nature again, also the outside, you know. And it gave the complete space just to the building and the music, and I think that's why it touched people so much, you know, and I got such incredible feedback on it. The other thing was, it was so cold on that day. It was one of the coldest days. I mean, I usually always dance when I'm DJing. I can't help it, but specifically on that day, you had to move yourself, you know. And but it's interesting because I read a lot of comments about it, and there were still a few people who said, "Where are all the dancers?" You know, but that was not the concept of what they do, you know, because the crew that invited me, they really work hard on finding these specific locations, and they want the location and the music to be the star, you know. So
did you find it was easier or harder to play without anyone?
No, that didn't make any difference to me. I can totally lose myself in the music in that moment, and the surrounding, you know.
Did it make you play differently of what you're used to?
No.
Not really?
No, not really.
Because I guess usually you must somehow rely on the crowd, or maybe you just play what you want and you take the crowd with you. So exactly. I understand why you say it makes no difference.
Yeah, and in many ways, like, there's this imaginary crowd always in my head, you know. So
because for us, the fact that we play without an audience make us feel like it's a greater challenge somehow, because when you have the crowd in front of you, it's there to reassure you. You can see people are liking what you do, and when you're alone with yourself, well, you're the only one you need to please, and to please oneself is like the most difficult thing in life somehow.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think probably the location itself helps tremendously, though, to just lose yourself. And I didn't try to overthink it at all. Like, I just let go and just play my music and let that be it, you know, and enjoy that, actually. And I think that part is so important, to continue to enjoy yourself with what you do, you know. I think people feel that always, you know, when you enjoy it, and you don't have to actually push yourself to do it. You just go, hey, which is for me really easy, especially when I play my own stuff, you know. So it's like, I'm proud of it, you know. I'm excited about it.
Obviously. So.
But as you said, obviously the interaction with people is fantastic and makes it super special, you know. And
when we think about Berlin and Germany in general, that's very much the idea that comes in mind, that kind of place, the warehouse. It fits perfectly the image of the Berliner techno. On the other hand, when we think about nature and beautiful landscapes, it's not often Germany that comes to mind. But I think that as a native German, you will disagree with that somehow. So can you tell us something about the wild side of the Germany?
Oh yeah, I think to start with, like, probably as far as nature goes, the most beautiful and diverse area is the south of Germany, Bavaria.
The south.
Yeah, because you have this incredible combination of lots of mountains, and you have these beautiful clean lakes, and in winter lots of snow and stuff like that.
Okay.
Although I'm from the north, so I'm much closer to the coastline, and I always enjoyed the coast of the North Sea there. It's or right now Berlin, it's the East Sea, so it's I just love the elements in general. So if you know where to look, you will see that Germany has an incredible landscape, and it's actually worth spending some time there. You can have a proper holiday in Germany, and I don't think you miss anything.
If you had to choose one location, but one natural one, to do something, same thing that you did in the warehouse, where would that be?
That's a good question. I think I'd do it. I've just done it. There's a festival called Grüne Sonne, which means green sun, which is on top of a mountain in Germany.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's just this fantastic location that they've secured for once a year. So that's definitely a spot to play.
Yeah.
But I could also imagine to do it on a small island on the East Coast, on the beach there. But for example, I sometimes have these with my family, we take a little break away from get away from just the usual life, and we go there in winter to the coastline. That can be incredible when it's really cold outside and you're on the beach, and the water, just when it hits the shore, is frozen. It's just,
oh wow,
yeah, it's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, usually we don't see that, and
yeah,
that's also some great location, I think, to do something.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
This summer we interviewed Timo Maas, who's also German, and also Ether, that lives in Berlin. Do you, as DJs that are native from the same place or live in the same city, have a special relationship, or is everything so international that you don't really run into each other that much?
It used to be more, because we were all going to the same record shops.
Oh,
when we're still playing vinyl.
Okay.
That was really incredible. I remember Thursdays was my day to go to Rotation Records and Hardwax, and it was incredible when you walk inside, and I remember so many times you stand there with Jeff Mills, Monica Cruz, Alan Ellion, DJ L, just all in the shop, and the ravers were outside, like, oh, look at them, So these days, I still, Marcel Detman is living around the corner from where I live, so sometimes, you bump into each other. So it's both. Interestingly, also, of course, then you happen to see DJs or colleagues a lot at the airport.
Yeah.
But not only in Berlin, like Munich or Frankfurt, the hubs for Lufthansa. So we still get to see each other. And of course, when you have friends, like Monica Cruz is a great long-time friend of mine. We're neighbors. You make an effort and you actually hang out. Yeah.
Well, it must be cool.
It's lovely. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. It was very, very cool to be able to chat with you.
Thank you.
We'll be there tonight, of course, to hear you
Cool.
play.
Yeah.
We can't wait to hear that. And is there anything we can wish you for the future?
Well, happiness, and I think we can all wish ourselves, I think, that as far as the future goes, that we continue to live on a planet where life is lived worth, and I think I'm a father, of a 13-year-old daughter, and you hope that the situation here on this planet will not deteriorate, especially with the climate. That's stuff that really, concerns me. So
Are you worried about that?
yes, absolutely. I think we have to really we have an obligation to make sure that this planet continues to be livable for few generations ahead. If you look at the time span of Earth and how short time we are now managing to destroy this, I find that's wow. So I encourage people to really, you know, we all have to do our little bit and not to wait for the big guys to do it, because they won't do it, you know. So it's all up to us, and I think we can make a difference for sure with our choices.
Is there some stuff, some little thing maybe you pay attention with, some stuff you're attached to try to do that?
All sorts of things, you know. It's just starting as a DJ, I'm the typical frequent flyer. I fly all the time. So we have policy now with my agency that when we fly, we offset it every time we purchase a ticket. Lots of airlines offer that you can say you donate €8 to offset the carbon emission of that flight. Stuff like that, you know. Start small and make a difference.
Yeah, well, very nice to hear. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
And see you around.
Yeah.